please. Okay. Wala nang gagalaw sa likod. Anyway, good morning. Our mother peacefully passed away at 3:18 a.m. August 1, 2009 of cardiorespiratory arrest.
Aquino, a housewife, a leader, a hero.
Maria Corazon, sumulong Cuaco, or known by the masses as Cory Aquino, was the 11th and the first female president of the Republic of the Philippines.
Born on January 25, 1933 in Tarlac, she was the sixth of 8 children. Jose Cuaco, a former congressman, and Demetria Sumulong Cuaco, a pharmacist.
She became a housewife of the former congressman Ninoy Aquino and bore 5 children, namely Maria Elena, Aurora Corazon, Benigno III, or known as Noy Noy, Victoria Khrizza, and Kristine. In early 1970s, money was tight, so Corazon moved her family to a smaller home and sold a part of land she had inherited to support his campaign.
Ninoy had become an outspoken critic of Ferdinand Marcos' regime and was expected to win the 1973 presidential election.
However, Marcos declared martial law on September 21, 1972 and abolished the Constitution, refusing to relinquish power.
I have proclaimed martial law in accordance with the powers vested in the President by the Constitution of the Philippines.
On that day, democracy died.
Ninoy was arrested and sentenced to death, leaving Corazon to raise the children alone for the next 7 years.
In 1978, Ferdinand Marcos decided to hold parliamentary elections.
Meanwhile, Ninoy's health was suffering from his long imprisonment.
U.S. President Jimmy Carter personally intervened, asking Marcos to allow the Aquino family to go into medical exile in states. In 1980, the regime allowed the family to move to Boston.
Corazon spent some of the best years of her life there, reunited with Ninoy, surrounded by her family, and out of the scrum of politics. Ninoy planned to return to the Philippines after his recovery.
Marcos knew he was coming, though, and had Ninoy assassinated as he got off the plane on August 21, 1983.
Benigno Aquino was shot by a man posing as an airport worker. Mr. Aquino had been warned his life might be in danger if he returned to Manila. He'd gone back to prepare for elections planned for next year.
Corazon Aquino was a widow at the age of 50.
People Power Revolution, also known as EDSA Revolution, is a peaceful demonstration which lasted 4 days, starting February 22 to 25 in 1986. It all started when the people filed protest against the dictatorial administration of Ferdinand Marcos, especially when Ninoy Aquino was assassinated last 1983. Many people participated, including the servants of the church like Jaime Cardinal Sin. It led to the departure of Marcos and restoration of the country's democracy with the leadership of Cory Aquino. President Cory Aquino proposed the creation of autonomous regions in the Cordilleras and Muslim Mindanao. ARMM, or Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. Mindanao was a very independent part of the Philippines who refused to be part of it. To solve this problem, President Cory gave them a freedom to be singled out from the country and declared it as ARMM. The Aquino government believed that a large portion of the nation's wealth was taken by the Marcoses, and so the PCGG, or Presidential Commission on Good Government, was created. The Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program, or CARP, was a land reform that aims for a more suitable distribution and ownership of land. It meant to distribute lands to farmers in a span of 10 years, but was extended by the 11th Congress due to delays in land distribution and a lack of budget allocation. Agrarian reform is very significant for the economy of any country because more than half of the population is employed in the agricultural sector. Agriculture is the main source of livelihood, especially for the developing countries. Reforms are important because they protect the rights of the farmers. January issue of Time magazine names Cory 1986 Person of the Year.
Since 1899, the famed Coangco family has been reigning in the Philippines as the richest family and known to most of the Filipino people.
And Cory Aquino is one of those Coangcos.
She became much more powerful when she married Benigno Ninoy, who was also a son of an influential congressman in Tarlac.
Thus came the Aquino Coangco clan.
Killings, katong mga extrajudicial killings that was started in the Marcos regime will stop, but it was also sustained under Cory's administration, like the Alsamasa. Itong vigilantes, wala giikuan, undang ang vigilantes, and during his time, she also accommodated Oplan Lambat Bitag 2 and Lambat Bitag 3. Lambat Bitag 1, Lambat Bitag 2, and Lambat Bitag 3. That is what we call the low-intensity conflict strategy of counterinsurgency. Yeah. Dili ra ba focus lang sa kanang kay di man na identifying insurgents yun, so wala ma-focus sa insurgents. Ang kanang low intensity conflict, nagdala lang siya og strategy nga ang mga Filipinos ilahang mailan masuod sa kanang panba, masuod sa kanang in-employ, kaya dili na mo criticize the government, which is not a real exercise of civil rights and civil liberties. It's still a form of oppression against the citizenry. So, and then under Aquino's administration, the pork barrel was transformed into the CDF, or the Countrywide Development Fund. And then it was her who started the disbursement of the CDF. And the number one campaigner of Aquino is PLDT's guy, Tony Boy Kuwangko. So, klaro kayo nga kamag-anak, katulad ang Kuwangko Corporation is really the one running the country now. Cory Aquino, as president, should have advised her relatives, give up the property to the farmers, exactly to the farmers. But it was not her cup of tea when she sat in office. Niya pag yung ibuhat, i-kuan pag yun niya, i-write off pag yun niya sa iyang sa comprehensive agrarian reform law, wala ipa-appeal na Hacienda Luisita. When in fact, carpable yun ang Hacienda Luisita. Niya, kung tanawin mo, ang policy sa Hacienda Luisita, it was borrowed in 1955. Oh, they borrowed, the Kuwangkos, borrowed some money from DBP, or the Development Bank of the Philippines, in 1955. On the policy that after 10 years, the land must be redistributed to the original tenants. But 10 years after, the Kuwangkos never gave it to the original tenants. So nangyari, namatay na yung original tenants, ang mga anak at mga apo na ng original tenants ang survive. Okay. In the present administration with Noynoy Aquino, they have a lot of ploys saying that they are redistributing the land, but it is not true. They did not redistribute the land to the original tenants or the relatives of original tenants who are still farming the area, but they redistributed it to some farmers that they took in. No? To sabotage the whole process, they took in other farmers para dumami ang farmers, and then they can model the whole issue of who are the original tenants who were there during 1955 and who were the relatives of these original tenants. Wala gid silang matagin. So I would not say she is a hero. Even her husband is only a political contender of the Marcos regime. Okay. Mga political rivals mo sila sa administration ni Marcos. Marcos is not good and we do not know what will be Benigno Aquino Sr. also. But take note of the Kalibak P. Benigno Aquino Sr. was a collaborator of the Japanese during the Second Republic or the Kalibak.